right, then. So on Lagos transport trends and perspectives this morning, we're going to be touching down on something we reflected on some 3 weeks back, and that is the idea of rickety vehicles and how, dangerous they could pose to the transportation sector in Lagos. And that is why the Lagos State Vehicle Inspection Service, they've been doing a whole lot in terms of trying to get rid of them off our roads and ensure that we have better road safety indicators. So this morning, we're going to be touching down on that. So we're examining the renewed enforcement drive for rickety vehicles in Lagos State. And joining me in the studios, I have engineer Akin George Fashola, who is Director of Vehicle Inspection Service. And he's always very, very eager to come and share information that relates to what you're doing. Nice to have you back in the building, Engineer Fashola. Good morning.
Good morning, Victor. How are you?
Very, very good. All right. So it's been quite a while, about 2-3 weeks now since we spoke with you last. And that time we were talking about the rickety vehicles enforcement. So how is that enforcement going?
Very well.
It's going pretty well?
I can give you numbers if you want.
Yes, I love numbers. I love dealing with numbers. So tell me, how far have you gone?
Okay, since 2 weeks ago, approximately on 2 weeks last Thursday, we apprehended about 210 downfall buses in one day.
210?
Yes, 210.
That's a massive figure.
Yeah, it is. It was a divisional. We have 5 divisions in the state, so we did a divisional sweep across the state, and 210 was the impounded vehicles.
Across the 5 divisions?
Yes, and also in that time, we apprehended, in conjunction with Federal Road Safety, 28 rickety articulated trucks.
Okay.
So it's going, and we will keep doing it. So now, what we've planned is every 2 weeks, because we need to get rid of the 210 that are littered across our yards in different areas. So
okay, I'm just wondering now, because I'm looking at those figures at 210. What were their offenses? Let's look through them.
Rickety. Rickety was the initial offense.
Right.
But when you go through the matrix, no documentation, no driver's license, the vehicle is not fit for purpose. That's it. Okay,
so rickety now. Maybe in the eye of the law, they might look rickety. In the eye of the operator, it is nice, right?
Yeah.
So let's describe this. Let's describe this now. So what qualifies to be a rickety vehicle? Because those are, issues of controversy. Sometimes people say, no, it's still looking fine now. I don't know what VI is looking for. What else are they looking for?
Okay, so let me give you extreme cases, and this is what we look for generally. You are in a downfall bus. You can see the road from inside the vehicle. That is a rickety vehicle.
There's no window.
No, it doesn't drive straight. There's no functioning headlights. There's no functioning tail light. The body is in. I don't even know how to describe it. Let me give you an example. The last one I caught.
All right.
We dismantled it in the yard.
Finally.
Yes.
The one you described the last time.
Yes, it was torn into pieces, and then we gave it back to the owner.
Oof. Okay.
And that's what's going to happen to you if I or any of my colleagues catch you. I will destroy that vehicle.
Okay. All right. So if they don't meet all these metrics what you just said now, that means VIS will impound the vehicle, and the next thing is to what now? To dismantle it?
Yes, to dismantle it.
Right. Are there reasons why a picked up an impounded vehicle will be handed back to the owner? What are the things that could make you say, well, this can still be remedied?
Well, that depends on certain criteria. So if it's just a matter of, okay, the tires are no good or expired, the suspension is defective, if it is deemed fixable, you will fix it in the yard. We will certify it that is within our specification. Then you can go ahead and
go. He can go in peace, right?
No, not go in peace. You will pay the fine.
All right.
And then we will reassess the vehicle for further use.
Okay. Just give me 1 minute, because I'm having some messages here. This one says, please, We need updates about coming out from Ikorodu. Okay, so the last update we just gave you is that there's a broken down BRT bus at Itowolu, inwards mile 12. That's why you're having it pretty slow within that corridor. All right, broken down BRT bus at Itowolu, inwards mile 12. And traffic managers there, please keep me posted. I know some of you are trying to connect with me earlier on, but the network not really friendly. All right, so if there are alternatives, you can let us know. And if there's any remedial action that has been taken, let us know as well. But I still have with me in the studios engineer Akin George Fashola, who is the director of Vehicle Inspection Service. 210 vehicles in the past 2-3 weeks. Commercial.
No, that's one day. That's one day.
For just one day. So in total, can you give us a figure how many you've impounded?
So I have 45 zones, and on daily basis, we average for each zone 10 vehicles like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
On a daily basis?
Yes, Victor. You know, I know people keep saying, oh, VI only catches private car. That's an assumption. You don't follow us around. Okay, so you don't see when we walk, how we walk. You don't see all of that.
Right. Okay. So for those vehicles that you impound, you did say now that it depends on the condition of those vehicles.
Yes.
Determines the release,
yes.
right? And you've also given us the idea that these are certain things that you check for. But in spite of all of that, people still say there's still so many commercial buses out there, the downfalls that you guys are not doing enough. So what else can be done really to sanitize the roads of these rickety looking downfalls? Okay,
so the ministry is looking at different measures to see how we can better control their activities on the road. I don't want to divulge some of
this
that
kind
to
of
you,
information yet,
because it is not currently active, and I don't want to jump the gun. But there are other ways and measures. I think you know of the bus reform project that we are doing on the island.
Right.
That's one way of getting some of this off the road, where we look into a program of exchanging the rickety vehicles that they have with new ones. But that has to go through a process. Okay. And unfortunately, it's not a short process, but it's a process nonetheless. There are qualifications that you need to meet to do that.
Let's touch on the manner and, of course, the approach of enforcement. You know, the complaint sometimes from the private vehicle owners is that your men threw a blind eye to the commercial buses while trying to do enforcement for the private vehicles. What's the approach really? Is it to say that you guys are scared of those commercial buses, or how does it work?
No, that's not a fair assessment. Nobody's scared of anything, but we have to be conscious of certain factors. Let me give you an example, a perfect example. Mm-hmm. Last week, or was it the week before, I followed a vehicle, a rickety vehicle that was fully loaded, those LT buses,
right,
from Stadium. I was behind it, I saw it. So I called Anthony, the Anthony office. They provided 7 men, and I told them to stand by the service lane, that I was approaching them. When I got close to them, I would flash my headlight. They should stop the traffic. That there's a vehicle I want to apprehend.
Right.
And like I said, this bus was fully loaded. I think it was 18 passengers. On getting to Anthony, and I drove in front, flashed them, and I parked. And they stopped the traffic. Do you know what this guy did with fully loaded passenger and a rickety bus?
Right.
He got on the sidewalk and drove in a reckless manner that you would think it wanted to kill the officer with people inside the car. So I said, let him go. You know, it's not critical. I don't want to jeopardize the lives of
That's right. So you were thinking of safety first.
Yes, we do. They will run officers down if they have the opportunity to. Just like 2 weeks ago, we had a stabbing from one of these incidents.
Wow.
A commercial bus driver that they wanted to apprehend, he stabbed the officer twice.
Oof. So those are the hazards that your men face on the roads, and that would bring to bear the reason why some of you do what you do, right? Because a lot of times the accusation is that you are not ready to apprehend these commercial buses. So is there any way you can have this kind of engagement with the motoring public, apart from this kind of forum that we have right now? Are there ways you guys can put it out to the public to say, look, these are the hazards, these are the dangers, and these are the reasons why we do what we do?
Victor, if I'm being honest, I don't think it's necessary. The job speaks for itself. When you see the result that the ministry is after, you can then judge what we do. As long as we publicize and show the public the results of what we do, I don't think it's a necessary venture to be engaging people in terms of how we operate. It's not necessary. How many people do I want to describe that to? And what is the point at the end of the day? It is still a general belief that, we are out for only private vehicles.
All right. Which is quite unfortunate, really.
I'm not.
Okay. So let's
I'm on the fence on that.
Good. So let's talk about areas now. So which areas did you have the most in terms of picking up these rickety vehicles in Lagos?
There's no love-hate area. They are all the same.
All the same.
The island, the mainland, wherever. They would do it wherever you allow them to do it. They are particularly
everywhere.
Yeah, they are particularly more engaged on the mainland. Let me talk about Bariga, Shomolu, Sulere.
All those corridors. What about Oshodi?
Yes, all those areas.
Okay.
Just
you find them everywhere.
You find them everywhere.
All right. Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. This morning we're talking about the enforcement drive for rickety vehicles in Lagos. What have you seen? The VIS says no joke. They're not on a playing mission. Right now they are on a serious mission just to enhance road safety and save lives. What have you noticed in this enforcement? You can also share your experience with us. That's on 08099120777 and 09153877127. You can tell us what you see. And if you think there are other ways that we can improve things and also ensure that those rickety vehicles are permanently off Lagos roads, you can feel free to connect with us. Let's talk about extortion and, of course, the high-handedness of some of your officials. I know sometimes you get those kind of feeds. Isn't it? Okay, let's see if I can take his call. Hello there. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Victor. How you doing? This is Abdul Malik.
Abdul Malik, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, and you too. How are you?
Very good too. It's been quite a while we heard from you, but let's hear from you.
Quite a while. And to our guest, good morning, sir.
Good morning to you. Good morning.
Like your intro speaks, most of us, including myself, I feel that your agency per se, quote and unquote, definitely has come to be corrected, focuses more on private cars.
Okay.
But now, from the interview, from the talk we have said so far, definitely we are all wrong. We are doing more to sanitize the commercial vehicles also. However, going forward, you are trying to make a point there. Maybe you will go back to it. It's a very germane point. Because if there's no secondary market, if there's no place where most of these vehicles can be discarded and replaced, you understand? I think we have a very long way to go in tackling the racketing vehicles in Lagos. And as a matter of fact, in Nigeria at large.
Yes.
Because if you go abroad, easily you see secondary market. You can dump your cars, you can swap, you can send it to Africa. Can we start thinking inward, trying to do a marriage between town and gown? You understand?
Yes.
We revisit those racketeer vehicles by whatever design. I can drop my vehicle in the next 2 years, then be swapped for a better one, a cleaner one. You understand?
Yes.
I'm very, very sure if we can work with all these parks management teams and we are able to establish things like this, nobody will want to be driving around in racketeer vehicles. That he even knows that VIO or Road Safety Agency will be running after him. I think we should put more effort in that.
Right.
If we do that, we have a better commuter, we have a better Lagos, we have a better roads on our streets. I think we should look at that area more. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Abdul Malik. Thank you. All right, pertinent contribution there. What's your response to that?
Well, it's a fantastic idea, which is why I said we are also working on that. That's one of the things that's incorporated into bus reform project. We assess the current level of commercial buses, and then we do an exchange program. But like I told you, that's unfortunately it's not a short process. It's complicated in the sense that you have to bring it, we assess it, and then we do a credit exchange in something of that nature, where whatever it is that you are bringing, we give you credit for it towards the purchase or acquisition of
another one. Okay. So that's something you guys might be looking at in future?
No, we are looking at it, and we are currently implementing or trying to implement it on the island.
Oh, okay. That'd be good. Hello there, good morning.
Good morning, Victor.
Good morning.
And good morning, Engineer Fashola.
Good morning, sir.
Oluwaluko is my name, sir.
Oh, Oluwaluko, how are you doing, sir?
I'm very fine, sir. And you too?
Very good.
Thank you very much, sir, for the enlightenment. Actually, I used to be among those that thinks the VIO are not doing enough on the commercial vehicle until the example our engineer just gave this morning. I witnessed a scenario at Ojota. A policeman was trying to appreciate a downfall driver. This guy climbed the road divider and drove all the way from Ojota. He almost got to New Garage before coming down from there. I was amazed. And the policeman was hanging on the door. He couldn't release his hand. I don't know the fate of that policeman, whether he died or whether... So it is true. So most of the times, they try to really allow them. And I think what I want to suggest is, please, if they can go through their...
unions?
Their heads, their various unit heads. From there, the withdrawal will be gradual. Lagos is changing. But that will be something that we have to really be patient with those agencies. Right. So if they can just go through their union units, various units, from there, gradually they can start withdrawing those. It will help a lot, because the way national union is operating now, they are already in Lagos part of. So I think any change that is coming, they have to really include them. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so much, Oluwaluko. So, any kind of engagement with the NURTWs?
No, they're part of the bus reform project. So the bus reform project has been going very well. We've assessed a myriad of vehicles, especially on the island. Victor, if I tell you, but here's the reality on ground. Of all the vehicles that are presented on the island, 95% of them don't meet criteria.
On the island?
Yes, they don't.
I was thinking you're going to talk about the mainland.
No. We are starting out with the island first, and then we will migrate to the mainland.
Okay.
They don't meet criteria. So there are just so many things to fix on individual vehicles, and the ones that can't be fixed will be replaced.
All right. Lagos Traffic Radio, hello there.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Victor, and yes, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Yeah, my name is Andrew. Rickety Vehicles.
Yes, go ahead.
What I know as Rickety is something that's on roadworthy. Now, do they really take their vehicles for roadworthiness? Roadworthiness is one of the things. While I was small, I know people go for road tests. That's what they do then. Now, come and do it. Free will. People will not do it because they have broken windscreen. Now, if you have insurance, that's when it comes to insurance. If you have insurance, all these things will be taken care of if it is mistakenly broken. People don't want to pay 15,000 for insurance, and they want to go and buy a clean tire. They go and buy a expired tire that will be wobbling on the road, broken windscreen, no good body, dilapidated, and weak brakes. Expired brakes. The people manage brakes. I saw one vehicle sometimes this month. It was raining. He matched the brake, was not dragging the road. Now he hit a vehicle, was not complaining. Now, you don't have brake lights. One thing one should start to be collected. One thing one should be looking the person driving, I'm driving at the back. You that is driving in the front, I should be looking at your brake lights and your tires while driving. There's a regulation that makes us to drive. When you drive, you give a distance, even in traffic. But we don't do all those ones. Now, smoking vehicles, they go all out. I thank God. You see, I see them, VIO, they are not supermen. They are not AI. They are trying their best. From time, people have been saying it's private vehicle. I drive a private vehicle. They cash only private vehicle. It's not only private vehicle that runs the road.
All right.
Both private and commercial vehicles. And commercial vehicles that does this thing, we that complain, you will still enter that no window, broken windscreen, no headlight. Some will be using torchlight to do headlight at night.
Which is quite unfortunate. Which is quite unfortunate, really. But Andrew, you've hit
the road safety. They are trying their best. They are not superhuman. But I want to beg the government. The synergy between road safety, Ministry of Transport and Energy. Lighting should be everywhere. There should be light because smoke. When this smoke comes out heavily and people drive, they don't have brake lights. You won't see the vehicle. Yes. Even smaller cars, private cars too. It does it more than even commercial vehicles. I stand to be corrected.
Right.
It's what I've seen on the road. Okay. There should be light in the area.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Andrew, for adding your voice to the contribution. For making your contribution to the program as well. All right. So you do engage with the. I'm thinking of the articulated vehicles as well. Let's even touch down a bit on them. We see some of them. They're driving on the roads, smoking, and then they're even tilting to one side. The load they're carrying probably too heavy. What are you men doing with those ones as well, Engineer Fashola?
Okay, so I told you earlier that last week or the week before we had an enforcement drive on them in conjunction with Federal Road Safety, and 28 of them were apprehended for various offenses. Rickety, tire exploration, not using their twist lock and things like that. So that one, I have a special unit that handles that one. So it is not all VIO officers that you see on the road are particularly engaged in articulated enforcement. That's a special breed because they carry a different criteria as opposed to a normal vehicle. So you need further training in that.
Right.
It's not all VIO officers.
And people say that most of them, they know when your operating hours end, so they bring out these vehicles more probably in the nights and on weekends.
That's very true. It's quite unfortunate, but we will find a way around that.
Okay. All right. Some messages coming in. This one says, "Good morning, Engineer Fashola. What do you think about vehicle owners who know their cars are not roadworthy but still drive them around Lagos?"
Hello?
Omoyelu. Let's take this one. Hello there.
Hello.
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Victor. How are you, sir?
Very good. This is
this is Mr. Folabi from Ikorodu.
Hey, are you still in town? I thought you were jackpot.
Yeah. We just entered town.
All right. Okay then.
According to our country, well done, sir. Very good job, sir.
Thank you.
And our engineer in the house. Thank you so much.
Good morning.
Sorry. Number one, Mr. Victor, can I ask, this impediment on the road, is it called me your current testimony? Yesterday, I had a serious issue that I have to stay back.
That's
true. I didn't go out until like 2:30.
That's
true.
Is
there no, they should give us alternative. I've always been retracing this. Whenever there's an issue like this, we should give us opportunity of applying the BLT lane and try to regulate it.
Okay.
You can imagine. It's not, that's where we are now. So let me go to the subject matter for today.
Okay, then.
Please, I think to make things done properly, I don't know. So when we're talking about other sector, when they are saying that things are not doing, all right, especially in the financial sector, when, economy is not being liquid, for a particular sector or something, they try to recapitalize, to inject more funds and to re-strategize, as the case may be.
Right.
But in this old transportation section, we've been talking about, I'll talk mainly about the downfalls because that's where, if you look at it statistically, where we're having issues is from there. Okay. Today, based on my own statistics, they are the one.
Okay.
So why can't they let them form a body that are more reliable? All of them, you might have as many as possible. haven't checked their profiles of the people that will be in charge, let them go and register under them. I know that we don't have a good or robust database whereby if anything happens, don't chase them, don't run because of you can run to somebody, you can kill somebody on you want to take their record. How will you apprehend them at the end of the day? They don't have the database. They don't have where to lay their head in the night so that you can go and say, let me ticket them, they will pay. They don't have. And I've heard several on this occasion that they have multiple numbers, split numbers. So it becomes difficult. Let them register under a particular reliable company that we can trace them to.
Okay.
If anything happens, you don't have to chase anybody. Just pick the number. You go back to the agency that they register under.
Okay.
Find your boy. He has committed this infraction. I know it's difficult for you, enforcement. We know the way it's being done out there. We're all talking about, I believe in practical. You know your slogan now, sensitization, education without enforcement. It's just a mere entertainment.
Right.
We are just entertaining ourselves, coming to the air and be talking.
All right. Kind of fortunate.
Face the reality. As if you want to recapitalize. Let them go away.
Okay.
Get the body. Let them go and register.
All right.
That is my view.
Thank you.
Thank you
Afolabi, for that one. Those of you on Ikorodu Road having that slowness, breaking down BRT bus at Itowolo. But control room, let me know what's happening to that. I hope that has been moved to the side. What's really going on? Why is it still very slow? All right. So, Engineer Fashola, is there any way we can recapitalize and more or less have just a body that can register the commercial buses alone? Is that possible?
Victor, I will say this again, and we have been singing this song for a long time now. Mm-hmm. The Bus Reform Project initiative is a comprehensive one, which states we will not allow individuals to do commercial transport anymore. If you want to do commercial transportation, you have to form an entity, like the gentleman just called now, that is recognized by the ministry.
How far has the government gone with that? Because people cannot feel the impact yet. That's the big thing.
Okay,
right? Some messages are coming here for you. This one says, good morning, Victor and Engineer Fashola. How can the average Lagosian support the work VIS is doing to make roads safe? Steve is sending that one in.
You can join the agency. We are looking for more men.
You mean it? You've not put out your call for application.
When we are ready,
join you.
When we are ready,
there are
we'll
no jobs. Okay, this one says, good morning, traffic radio. What happens when a vehicle is found to be rickety due to poverty or lack of access to proper vehicle care? Babatunde is sending this one in from Ojota. Babatunde, poverty. Where does poverty come in this dynamics now? In this, in the whole of all of this.
You know the funny thing about the question you just read out now,
right?
So that's a lot of time. That's an excuse, and I always ask the vehicle owner, okay, so the people that you are carrying, are you doing it for free? Do you charge them money, or do you do it at a discount? I don't understand.
Definitely, they charge them money.
If you are charging them money, then you can't tell me you are poor because you are making revenue on it. You are just not
paying attention to it.
You are not. You don't want to fix what you're supposed to fix because you think you can get away with it until you get caught. That's just the bottom line.
All right. More messages coming in. This one says, good morning. I am Ezine, Engineer Fashola. How do your officers decide whether a vehicle should be impounded or just issued a warning?
Well, that depends on a lot of factors. If it is a clear violation, he's well within his right to issue your fine. If it is if it is forgetfulness on your part, let's say you forgot to renew your documentation, it's expired a day or two. Well, it depends on how you approach the officer.
So he can use his discretion?
He can, but for the most part, you'll find that the camera has already picked you somewhere. So
you still have to be fined all the same.
Yeah, you still have the fine either way because the camera doesn't ask questions or, do inquiry about what happened.
Right.
It's a yes or no.
Okay.
And if it is a yes, you get a fine.
All right. This one says, good morning, Traffic Radio. My take is about the level of enforcement on those rickety vehicles, especially the articulated vehicles. It's absurd to see them on the roads with goods that are worth buying 4 times the amount of the vehicle itself. The enforcement should be at the point of loading are not even on the road to start with. He says, what are the agencies doing about this menace? Bayo is sending this one in from OPIC. Bayo, thank you so much. All right, so do you guys go to the point of loading where they load these vehicles? Do you have that?
I don't have access to that. That's not my jurisdiction. Vehicle inspection services under Lagos State only maintains law and order when you bring it on Lagos State roads, not where you go and load it.
Yeah, but can't you have a kind of collaboration with MPA?
No,
the Nigerian Ports Authority.
Funny enough, we've been on this for many years, but that jurisdiction lies with the Federal Road Safety because the MPA port is a federal territory, and unfortunately, that's what it is.
All right, let's get to round this up right now. I know there are lots of messages that are streaming in, but Engineer Fashola, even as you continue this drive, are you pledging for Lagosians? Are you pledging to Lagosians that more arrests of these commercial vehicles are still going to be part of the menu?
What I'm going to say is, if you don't want to lose your vehicle, don't bring it out if it is rickety. I will take it from you without any sentimental attachment. I'm not sentimental in that nature. No. Don't bring it to the road. I will take it from you and we will pieces it.
Right. Flash update coming in from the control room. Broken down, loaded containerized truck with tire problem. This is at Oriental Hotel, Inward Sandfield. Owner working on it seriously. And traffic, I understand, has backlogged to the toll gate. That's at the traffic light point. We have to go now. Engineer Akin George Fashola, it's nice having you back in the building. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Victor.
Okay, then. So this morning we've reflected on the enforcement drive for rickety vehicles, courtesy of the Lagos State Vehicle Inspection Service. And like you heard from Engineer Akin George Fashola, he says, if your vehicle is not roadworthy, please do not put it on the roads. His men will apprehend you. The program has been produced by Dayo Anthony. Maximum shout out going out to Bolanle Ogunlola, who's a Director, Public Affairs for the Ministry of Transportation. In the building, Taiwo Balogun, right? Okay. All right. Taiwo, also part of that unit. Thank you so much for being here as well. And I want to appreciate Deborah Bolidioku of our social media unit. Same for Kwemi Shodunke. Omolola Balogun in the building as well. Say a big thank you to you. Tomorrow, we'll be back with Maritime Today and, of course, reflect on some other issues. But till then, I'm Victor Oteri. Have a great day. Bye.